crypto and to talk about crypto, man. Um, I like to always hear about everyone's perspective on like what new tokens they're into, and also I always like to hear how you got started in crypto too, man. So how did you get
Thank you,
started?
thank you, thank you. Well, I started in crypto. I'd say 2 years ago. I knew about crypto like early 2017, but I wasn't really that heavy involved. I was mostly just focused on like stock like that. But
Same
I
here,
would say
man.
around like 2 years, yeah. And then around like 2 years ago, I started seeing like pretty much like the gain, how people were like doing crazy X's on all the different cryptos. So that's when I started getting to it, and then I was like, let's getting into the space. I like just like immersed into it, and then now
Yeah.
I'm pretty much just I love.
Did you were you just in like so I'm pretty you probably started how I started out. I just started out with stocks and then I end up getting into options. Did you get into options at all?
Yes, I was like I first started off like very like conservative. Like I was like ETFs, a couple like just dividends, and then I started doing like some options here and there, and
Yeah.
like then I started getting into crypto, and I was like, okay, like
So what was your when you got in your what was like your first token that you bought? Like how did you get into crypto? Did you like get in the meme coin space or did you like start buying blue chips at first?
um my first crypto I've ever bought was it was actually Dogecoin, but it was after it started like pumping, and I was
Like the
like,
during the Elon Musk
like
stage?
yeah, and like I was like, well, like before that, like once it started pumping before Elon even like took charge of it, and I was just like crazy. And then um after that, I started like looking into coins. Like my second coin that like the 1 second space that I actually like really got into was like Cardano and like Ada
Yeah.
and just like Charles Hoskins, and then slowly started working my way around and learning about the different spaces like Hex, and then Zen, and a whole bunch of.
I love how like so you're a hex guy now. Are you a hexagon?
Uh, I I wouldn't say I'm a Hexican. I feel like when it comes to the space, like I feel like everyone tries to like seclude themselves to like one coin. Where like
Oh yeah.
me, I like Hex. I like pretty much of it and like the CD and locking up coins. But like
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a Hexican. I like pretty much all any crypto that's beneficial and provides like a use case.
Yeah. Like I started buying like blue chips like at the time like stuff like Cardano, V Chain, and I was just buying those. And then I end up getting into like the meme coin space. Do you remember? I mean, do you know a person? His name was called the Tech Lead. He's like on YouTube. He's like really big, and he's like he always talks about how he's like this Google employee. Well, he created his own token. It was called the token. It was just the million token. It was like basically uh, one. It was only a million tokens available, and it was going to start at it was going to start at like $1. So I like
Oh wow,
instantly bought like $75 worth, and it like literally went up to like $200 within like uh $200 per token within like maybe I would say like 5 days. It was crazy. And then I was like, then I was basically hooked in the meme coin space for a while, and then I ended up finding out about Richard Hart, and I've been pretty much I wouldn't say a hexagon, but I've been in the hex and hedron, and then I'm kind of like in that circum, you
that
know.
space. Yeah,
Yeah. The crazy
yeah.
thing is now is like I'm just like you. I don't like to like attach myself to like just one thing. So like when Zen came out, I was like, oh man, this makes sense, you know? So I've been like on the Zen train So for the last
Yeah,
probably
same.
month. So
Yeah, same. I when I first heard about Zen, I was like just listening to like the tokenomics and how it was pretty much just it was like pretty much Bitcoin. Like you could pretty much mine it, and it was pretty much a coin that came out during like the start of like not the start, but like during the bear market because there really wasn't anything happening. And I was like, when I saw it, and I was like, I just understood the tokenomics, and then listening to Jack just talk about it and how he wants to pretty much just make crypto accessible to everyone. Like I do with that.
yeah, the chart looks brutal though, man. But I
Yeah.
always tell people it's kind of weird because sometimes when you hear people talk about Zen, they always say the price is going to go down, but no one really cares about the price until your mint's up, you know. So
Hmm.
until your mint's up, who cares about the price? But I think the Zen NFTs is going to do something crazy. I don't know what it's going to do,
Yeah.
but
I think because so I was working on a video today where I was talking about the Zen NFTs and how I think that it could possibly be bullish for Zen just because
yeah,
so do you use I think it's I forgot the website, but um I was watching a whole bunch of people break down Zen NFTs, but like even
yeah,
just me looking, like even if you look now, it only has 234,000 liquidity for Zen, and it does like even the craziest thing is that people are minting it and dumping it, but I feel like it's
yeah.
gonna get to a point where it's not gonna be profitable. So people buying it, and then
Buying it, yeah.
that's when yeah,
Like
and
I'm not
even
gonna
with
lie,
like the
I've bought some.
NFTs,
I'm not gonna lie, I've bought some,
yes,
I, but I bought some
so did
doing
I. Yeah, so did I.
single side liquidity. If you've ever done that, the single side liquidity through
I
Uniswap.
okay,
Have you ever done that before?
and that's what single solid. No, I haven't done that before on Uniswap. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I think Zen is crazy, and even just with like the Zen unicorns, I was even looking at that because we don't even have that much when it comes to like total liquidity, like move, like it's only like I think it's not even a lie. So if you mint, if you billion Zen apparently with the Zen unicorn, you're looking at you have 100 max that can get burned. That's a
Yeah,
lot. It's like almost like two.
yeah,
That's almost 1 trillion right there.
yeah. Because that's the FUD right there. The FUDs is like the inflation.
Yeah.
So once the inflation's like, you know, I mean, no one knows what's gonna do. But man, if it does what you think what we all think is gonna do, once like a couple those unicorns end up getting purchased.
It-
Do you
and
follow
even just like
Trayvon?
Trayvon, yeah.
Yeah, he made a video today about it. And basically said, which I never thought about. He was looking at the wallet count, and he was like saying, he's like, there's probably a couple people that do have 10 billions in, but they have it all scattered
Mhm.
out in wallets. So he's like, people are going to consolidate their wallets so they can get his unicorn. And I was like, never thought
Oh,
about that.
oh yeah. And then like even like because even when it came to Zen, like when Zen first came out, like everyone thought that there wasn't going to be as much adoption as it was, and then like Zen just blew up out of
Yeah,
nowhere,
man.
and then now,
I, I've been following Jack since he's talked to Richard Hart during that Maddie um,
yeah, okay, yeah,
video that they did. And like when he mentioned Zen, like no, when he mentioned Zen and was doing the interviews and stuff for it, Like nobody was talking about it except for, Jim Rap Crypto and maybe a few others, but nobody was really talking about it. But when it launched, man, the FUD just became unreal. Like there was no FUD during the time he was talking about it during the launch, and then all of a sudden, man, when it came out, it was like unreal. Like people that never say things in the Hex community just came out of nowhere and just start fudding it. I was like, wow, this is nuts. But that's what you kind of get in the
Yeah,
meme
I mean,
coin space. So I kind of like recognized it in the beginning because the way I found out about Hex was through FUD too. So
yes, like I heard about like the whole OA and like the coins and everything, and it's inflationary and stuff like that. Even that, but I feel like Zen, like I feel like there's endless possibilities. Like it could keep going down, but I feel like it's gonna get to a point where it can it can't go down anymore.
yeah, I think it's gonna hit a bottom. Um, we just don't know when that is. But I think it's gonna get to a
Yeah,
point. I think the bottom will be when, like you said, when it doesn't become profitable anymore. Because right now people are still minting for like 30 days and still making like
yeah,
maybe like $200 or something, $200 depending on where the price is. So, I mean, if you mint something for $5 and make $30 off of it, I mean, that's still a win, you know.
yeah. True. Yeah, yeah.
So I
And
so
I
I
mean,
think when it gets to that point, it's gonna, I think people will start buying it.
yeah. And even like you also got to think about it too. Like it's like we're looking at it from the bear market where there's not even a lot of money even just in the crypto space. So then now just
So true.
imagine when everyone else, all these VCs start coming back in into the crypto space, people start buying in all these altcoin ERCs. Like Zen could go anywhere from there. And even with the
Yeah.
adoption, like being on almost every plot, like every chain.
Yeah. Everything pumps in the bull market, man.
Yeah.
So how did you find out about Richard Hart? I always like to hear people's story about how they found out about Richard Hart because some people, I mean, it's like you hate him or you love him, you know? There's really no in
Yeah.
between.
I like Richard Hart. I like his YouTube videos, like his old YouTube videos where he's talking about pretty much just anything. So, but I found out about him because there was this YouTuber, uh, Dollar,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he was like starting to talk about him. This was years ago. Like he started talking about Hex when Hex just started like coming around, and then that's when I was like, oh, let me look into this, and then I never heard of a digital like sense. Like I knew of CDs, but I didn't know that you could do it through locking up however many coins you wanted to, and then you pretty much controlled the whole process.
Yeah.
So I found that neat.
So did you sacrifice for Pulse Chain or Pulse X at all? Or were
Not
you late
sacrifice for
to the,
Pulse,
oh man.
I was late to it. Yeah. Did
But
you sacrifice?
probably, I sacrificed for Pulse X. I got in. I wasn't able to get in Pulse Chain. So um one of my strategy is right now that I'm just accumulating Hex right now. So I
Yeah.
can,
Are you?
do the swap for Pulse Chain to get so I can get some Pulse Chain.
How do you feel about the HSI auctions?
Um I like them, but I haven't participated in it because I feel like it's just run. I mean, as of right now, there's like it's probably like run by bots, people that know how to program and stuff, and they're able to win the good ones. Um, there was there was one tweet I read just a few like today, and he was like, I'm stop doing auctions on HSIs because every time I win, someone at the last minute outbids me by a lot of Heatron. I was like, that's probably what happens. Have you been on them yet?
No, I didn't bid on them. I just have a lot of my coins are pretty much just like staked away. Like I have a good amount of like just staked away, Hedron,
Yeah,
and I mean I like it that way in that sense because I pretty much doubled my Icosa having it staked during the whole
yeah.
auction.
How do you like Hedron, man? I like Hedron, so I love it. I was when it first began. They were flooding it, and I was buying it, and I bought it like right when as it was. I had like a limit order because people
Mm-hmm.
were flooding it so bad. I was like, man, maybe if I just put a limit order below the, you know, actually, can you see my screen? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see
Oh,
your yeah, I can see your screen.
yeah. I'll go to the chart. Let's go to the chart. So like I end up when it first came out, I got in.
Yeah.
I got it. I bought some right there, and then when it went back down here, I like I like had some limit orders
Mm.
down there and just like scooped up probably like a nice 2 billion for like nothing. So I just been holding it ever since
Oh
now.
yeah.
So, but man, when
I
it
mean,
went
yeah.
up here, I thought it was going to hit the all time high and get up there, but right now it's at a discount. So um, I'm gonna just see what it does. Hopefully,
And that's the
the burn will happen.
yeah. And I mean that's the good thing. Like Hedron's still new. Like Hedron and even Icosa, like because they're supposed to pretty much be like with Hex. So like looking into like the whole like the poly contract. I don't know
Yeah, yeah,
if you
Poly.
know like poly supposed
Yeah,
with like
I was
Hedron.
in Maxi. I
Mm.
was in Maxi when it first started out. I end up selling it because it was at a crazy premium, um, and to buy some. Actually, I end up selling it and getting a HSI so I can get my Icosa. That's what I end up doing with it. So because right when were you kind of like in when it first started during that whole fiasco when it kind of like you
And
got the
right when
Watsa
it first
like the
started,
Watsa. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was in that right
Yeah.
like that first like that second bottom. I was right in like right around there. So right around like
Oh, yeah.
late May, early July. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
that's
that's when I
cool.
just started scooping a lot, also getting some from my hex stakes. So
Yeah, the good thing about Pulse Chain is that you're going to get a copy of all that stuff. So, I think my strategy right now is just I'm just accumulating. But I think
yeah, same, yeah.
the hidden gem, I think what they're not telling what like the Ethereum proof of work, you know,
Yeah.
how Hex did in the Ethereum proof of work. I feel like if when Pulse Chain launches, I think the quickest token that's going to get close to parity on ETH is going to be Hex, because I think that AAM bot that Richard is that's going to soak up all that, buy up all the liquidity on Uniswap is going to like put it to parity real quick. So when they did the copy for the ETH proof of work, if I let me like go to chart real quick, Hex. So if you go to the ETH proof of work, let's see. Yeah. So if you go to so this is the actually this is that's ETH fair. Too many, man. Let's see. So
So what are you more focusing on like when it comes to chain? Are you focusing more on trying to get more pulse chain or pulse X like what do you feel is gonna
I'm
be
focused
the
right now. I'll have a good Pulse X bag. I just need to focus on getting Pulse Chain since it's a L1 and normally L1s do pretty good, you know. So I'm gonna focus on getting some Pulse Chain. That's why I'm like trying to buy as much hex as I can. So when I get the copy, that's basically a free copy. So I'm gonna just use that copy to buy my pul my Pulse Chain, because when Pulse Chain launches, like for the first I think 24 hours to 48 hours, it's not gonna be live. It's only gonna be live for the people that actually have. I mean, he's not gonna open up the system, the the bridge, so there's not going to be any
Mhm.
real value to those tokens. So it's going to be like ratio trading. So a lot of people are going to be doing ratio trading for the first 48 hours. So it's like you might can get a deal or you might get screwed over.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait, because I feel like that hex on the Pulse chain is going to be close to parity real quick, and I'm trying to find ETH W, because ETH W launched at the hex when it got copied and launched at I think 3 zeros and a 2. So if Pulse Chain, because everything that goes on Pulse Chain is going to start off as 0, but you really don't know what that 0.
Yep.
So if it launches at hex launches at 3 0, like 3 zeros and a 2, and it goes up to $3, that's pretty big gang right there, you know.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. I feel like
But do you,
long term, I feel like Pulse Chain is gonna be. I'm focusing more on like Pulse Chain because I feel like Pulse X is gonna be like it's. I feel like it's gonna pump faster. It's gonna be more volatile compared to like Pulse Chain. I feel like Pulse Chain is gonna be more of like that long term like hold. So I'm
oh yeah,
trying to more Pulse Chain because I feel like it's gonna be way more rarer than Pulse X.
yeah. If I was
And
in
even with
your
like the yeah.
Yeah, if I was in your predicament and you didn't have either, I would just wait, because like, man, there's a lot of people right now that's waiting on Pulse Chain, and they're waiting to dump their bags because they need the money. It's like they need the money, you know? So I think just
Mm,
like how Hex started out, and Richard Hart, when Hex started, he like told people don't buy. He's like, it's gonna dump. And people bought it anyway. But I think
yeah.
that's what's probably going to happen. They always go up real high, and then they like people take profits, and then they dump real fast, and then that's the time for you to scoop as much as you can. Because if you can scoop it up for if you can scoop it up for like the sack price, man, you'll be in good shape. Because I don't think a lot of people are gonna be especially the hex holders or some people that are like involved in hex. They not selling their bags, man. It's gonna be all
Oh
the
yeah.
people
Oh yeah.
that's like outside the community that, that sacrificed, but it's been a year now, and they're just like, man, I'm just gonna dump my bag, because they're gonna get,
They're waiting
because
for it. Yeah.
I think when it launches, you're probably gonna get like a 50 to 100x right off the bat,
Oh yeah.
and then people are just gonna take their money, and then, but yeah, I have a good Pulse esque bag. It's just that I just want to get Pulse chain,
When do you think?
but that's
When do you think it's gonna like? When do you think it's gonna release?
man. I was in it when I was in the Pulse chain, and he was like talking about mid May, and then he was like, my devs told me mid May, and then it didn't come through. So now I'm just at the point where it's like, I just hate,
When it comes, it comes. Yes.
yeah, I just hate people on Twitter, man. They just like, ugh. They're just like pulse chain launch soon. I'm like, oh my god, shut up.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's probably gonna launch next year sometime. I mean, he'll be crazy to launch it during like Christmas or something like that. That'll be crazy though. But he just gave an
That
update just
would be
recent. He
crazy.
just gave an update just recently on that. Did you read that
I feel
tweet?
like he's gonna like the tweet. Did he just drop it?
He dropped a tweet a couple today on some developments. You didn't see it? Let's see if I can.
Nah. But I feel like he's gonna wait definitely until like after the movie to get more hype into Pulse Chain, but possibly like Hex too.
Yeah, here it goes. Pulse chain update, working on mods to Lighthouse, prerequisite for the beacon chain. Explore, similar to what was done to make Prism work with our larger. Yeah, it's just like this is like all like dev talk. Yeah, and then like you just see people's like giving up their perspective and stuff, but who knows?
Yeah.
I think it'll probably come out next year sometime, probably first quarter. People are like,
Oh,
people are antsy, man. People are antsy. They want it out, man. Because I mean, think
it's
about it.
because
Like
there's nothing like happening. Yeah.
yeah, he forked the Binance chain first, and then the fork of Ethereum 2.0. The success of it went well, so he it's like screw that. We'll go this way. So that's what people were kind of mad about. And the thing is, he wasn't giving anybody updates on anything. So I think that's what gets people antsy, But there's this
Yeah.
thing, it's like no expectations, but but you have $1 billion.
How do you?
You raised $1 billion
Yeah.
in your sacrifice. You said telling people have no expectations. Okay, what were you gonna say?
You just see the. I see like the little videos of him going shopping all throughout Twitter.
Yeah, that's which is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I hope it comes out, man. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But I'm at the point now where I've held it for I've been sacked for a year. So it's like at the point where it's like, man, I'm at the point now. It's like I really don't care. Like I hate reading news on it anymore because like by the time we sacked for Pulse X, there's so much videos out, K for K, like predictions, all that stuff. And it's like you're just like just waiting.
Probably,
Yeah, you're
yeah.
just like foaming at the mouth for it to like come out. And then like you're like, and then it's like, it's not coming out. It's not coming out. And now you're just like, whatever, man. It's like when it comes out, it comes out. But until then, I'm gonna like, if anything new comes up, I'm a see to those, But
How do you feel it? How do
yeah,
you feel towards crypto as a whole? Like how like do you think bottom or you think we're gonna go lower?
I think we're gonna go a little bit lower. But since the crazy thing is like I started off in stocks, so like the way I see stuff is a little bit different. um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's just like like people always talk about hodl and hold and stuff, but like in stocks, it's like if you're like the funny thing is like in the meme coin space, they tell you to hodl,
Yeah.
But like in like stocks, if you're like in the like if you're in stocks and in the penny stocks, right? They tell you not to hold. They tell you do not hold overnight, or you'll get rent, or because you never know what's going to happen the next day. So I just find that funny. But when it comes to the bottom, I really don't know where the bottom is when it comes to crypto, man. Um, Richard Hart said 10K, 10K Bitcoin. What do you think?
I think the same way. I think we will go lower, but I mean, we could hit 10K. We could maybe like 12K and then start retesting. But I mean, it's all. I feel like it all just depends. It all depends on like what's going on. If there's or like something happens, right? But
Have you been in a bear market before in crypto?
no. This would be my first bear market in crypto.
I would say this is my actual first one where I actually had crypto in. The first one that I probably didn't notice that they were in a bear market is when in 2015, 2016, like Bitcoin was like $20, and I was just trying to figure out how to buy it. I didn't know how to buy
Yeah.
it, so I was just like, screw this sucks. It's like it was like so hard to like there was like no exchanges to buy it. It's like you had to like meet up with somebody. And I was like, man, this is like so
Yeah.
like risky. And then I was like, I got into mining, and I remember I ended up buying this um, device online, thinking it's like, oh, you can make around 4 Bitcoin a day on that. I was like, oh, that's cool. Man, I bought it and I didn't get it till like 6 months later. I was like, and then like after 6 months, like that 4 Bitcoin was like not even like not even half a Bitcoin to get. And you realize that they do that on purpose. I was like, so I just spend like $500 on like a little device that I see if I can mine, and they do the stuff on purpose so you won't make any money from it. I was like, oh, that sucks. Then I just basically just stopped crypto and then came back in it like full throttle. But now it's a lot easier. Like back then, like they didn't have hardware wallets. It was all software. It's like your hardware wallet was like software, and then like it was on a file, and you had to like put that file somewhere because like they would have like Trojan horses and actual like
Yeah.
malware that would search for those files on your computer so they can like take them, because like basically that was your kind of like your hardware wallet. So yeah, but that was kind of like the one thing I regret not buying Bitcoin, because I remember watching this guy named Da Vinci. He's kind of like one of those shillers, but he's like really into Bitcoin. And I remember he was like, just buy it. It's only $1. Just buy it. And now he's like a billionaire that lives in Dubai now. I'm like, oh man, only if I listen to you.
Oh,
He hangs out with Carl the Moon
I
and
didn't
stuff.
even.
If you know
Oh
who he
wow.
is. Yeah. What were you saying?
I didn't. I didn't even know like because with the whole me being like before with me being in stocks like so used to like 2x's, and then when I saw like Bitcoin at like 50, 60,000, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then like because I saw it during 2017, so during like bull market, and seeing how high these were, I was like, this is crazy. And then now seeing it like now these past like 2 years of me just being in it and like just learn different like groups and just everything. I feel like I'm more like more aware. Like I feel like even though we're in a bear market, I feel more comfortable. Like I'm not even really stressing because I know it's all gonna go back up. And
Yeah. Um, I'll probably, even though I'll probably have a little, even though I came in the meme coin space, man, there's so much money to make in the meme coin space. I made, I made some good gains. because like coming from stocks and then like you make the thing is I remember like but the thing is like meme coins is like for every like 10 coins you make for every like $100 that you put in to a meme coin you're probably going to lose $900 but that $100
Hmm.
will like give you like basically like a 500x. So it's like if you understand that then like you can make a lot of money in meme coin because like there's been times like I would like there's like this I forget there was this one token I invested. It was like it was called Rich Quack. It was like it was like based on Scrooge McDuck, if you know who that is. It's like
Yeah,
kind of like
the,
a
the
it's like
like the
Scrooge
Disney
McDuck,
character
who
or
was like
whatever.
yeah, which he was like he was like a rich duck, and he like always like swim in coins and stuff. And it was like Rich Quack, and I remember like putting like $150 in it, um, and got like this extraordinary amount of coins. It was like probably like 25 trillion coins, and like I'd never even thought about you know selling them or anything. I just held it, and then like one day I woke up and my account said $30,000. I was like, sell. I was like, and that happened like a couple times. So I was like, oh, this is how this works. But the crazy thing is like they tell you like on the other side, like when you're in the telegrams and in those groups, they'll tell you to hold. And I'm like, I just put
Hmm.
$150 in to make to literally make around $10,000 or $30,000, and that wasn't unexpected. It's like I'm not holding just to try to make a million. It's like
Yeah,
you know and they all go to crap too. It's just like you just got to get in on the first pump,
you
and
got to
then
get in at the like the right time, like right as it starts.
yeah, because I took those gains and put them in
Like if you get
hex.
in,
I took those gains and put them in hex. Yeah, you got. I mean, yeah, and Richard Hart said in an interview that's the reason why I like him. I like the old Richard Hart where he's like giving truth bombs, where he's like saying he's like the people that get rich are the holders and the founders, the early holders and founders. And if you can get in early, I mean, especially on a meme coin, man. And since I
yeah,
know more about unit, I did a deep dive on liquidity and stuff and providing liquidity and all that stuff. Like I would if I would have known that, I would have just gotten the coins and provided liquidity and just like I would have stayed in those coins and got it. It made fees, made money off the fees.
yeah.
Do you know a lot about
Because
liquidity, providing liquidity?
watching a whole. So I've still new, but I've been watching doing a whole bunch of research, and also Sam Stoltz is. He's usually on with like Jim
Jim Rat?
Rat
Yeah,
Crypto.
yeah, yeah,
I watched pretty. Yeah, but like his I guess like his like other person that's with him, Sam Stoltz. That's his YouTube
yeah,
channel.
yeah. Hmm.
Like he talks about liquidity. So yeah, but yeah, I totally agree with liquidity and providing because that's one thing that people don't like. And even when it comes to like coin, like you need to provide liquidity, especially like you can make money off fees, but also trading coins at the same time.
Yeah. I listen to Jim Rat Crypto's videos every day, his live streams. And that's how I kind of got into it once Sam started talking more about it. And I was like, oh crap. Cause like you can like if you don't because I sometimes when matcha XYZ where you can set like limit orders and stuff,
Limit
like
orders, yeah.
you can do that with providing liquidity. So you can provide liquidity. So like if you have USDC, you can just provide USDC under the current price and then if it falls down in that current price, it'll just start buying up um, that token that you want, which is pretty cool. Um, and you'll get fees and stuff on that as well. So you'll get fees on the token, and you'll get fees on the, I guess if you're doing USDC, you'll get fees on the USDC as well. So yeah, it's good thing, man. If you get into it, man, deep dive into it, man. It's like man, wow, you can do this. Like I can see how like people that have like real big money, they just provide liquidity. Because if you
Yeah,
like go to like a
and
liquidity calculator and they like have like 50 grand or something, they're like making like 10 grand a month.
yeah, per day or per month. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I know, which is
it's
crazy.
crazy.
That's like crazy money. But yeah. And Sam, I think Sam said he took out a loan. I mean, I would never advise doing this, but unless you're like a pro or anything like that. But he said he took out a loan and put that money into providing liquidity, and I think he like made like almost like 2 grand like within like the first month or something like that, which is insane. It's like you can almost pay back that loan,
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, if I were
and
you,
he
I
was
would
even
deep dive into
talking
that.
the one. Yeah, providing liquidity. Like I'm still deep diving into it, like learning more about it.
Yeah, that's the one thing about crypto, man. There's always something new, man. Um, especially in the hex community, you're learning new things. Um, you got Zen coming out, and there's always something new that's going to come out pretty soon, man. It's just like you just got to do your due diligence to like not try to get scammed. That's the thing, man. When it
Yeah,
comes to crypto, try not to get scammed because people are out there to trying to take your wallet. That's like one of my next videos. Is I'm halfway done with it. Is like um, looking out for crypto scams to avoid, and the most common scams out there. You know, like wallet scams and stuff, phishing scams.
scam. Yeah.
So, because it's real, man. I'm knock on wood, I've never been rinsed, but I know Jim Rap Crypto has
Yeah.
all of his hex, man. Yeah, he said I think he had like almost like $30,000 worth of hex or something like that. Got taken.
Oh man.
Yeah. But when you hear him talk about like computers and stuff, you could see you'd be like, yeah, I can see why you got rinsed
Yeah.
because he always talks about
Yeah.
how he didn't really he had no computer knowledge and stuff, and he was just clicking on things. So I was like, yeah, I can kind of see how you got. And sometimes when he talks
And it's
about it
just
now,
like
because he talked, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, it's just like even like simple like security, like some people don't like just like even like disconnecting, like say if you even have a MetaMask, like disconnecting your MetaMask from like websites and stuff like that, like just little stuff, like not
Oh yeah,
like, and then making sure you're connecting right website and stuff like that, like that's just little things.
yeah. I sacrificed Pulse Chain on a different hardware wallet than I normally use. It used to be a wallet that I frequently used, and ever since I've sacrificed for that, I've never touched that wallet since. Because I'm just so paranoid that I don't want nobody stealing my pulse chain. I'm gonna move it to my cold wallet once we get our tokens, but I'm not like risking it at all. You know, going to a site and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden someone taking my pulse X, I'll be pissed.
I mean that's like the best way is just to move it to a cold wallet, like so like I started like my channel because like I started learning about crypto and I was bringing my family along, and a lot of my family wanted to get into crypto but they didn't know like what Ethereum was or what Bitcoin was. So like I would make these videos to show them like, okay, this is how this is what you could do with this and this and that. But like I also did it because of the whole like feel like because of the whole FTX situation and how people like they keep like they don't like when it comes to crypto, like if it like it's like what Richard Hart says, like if it's not your keys, not your coins type
Yeah.
deal. So like if you don't have custody of you're gonna lose them.
Yeah. So what do you think
And
about the FTX thing, man? It's insane.
it is insane, like listening about everything that happened, but it goes back to like you gotta have like some like safety. You know what I mean? Like everyone trusted this guy, and he was promoting it a lot. But like I felt like I was gonna like invest in FT token, but like something was like to me when I was about to listen to it, I was like something is off, and I'm glad I never invested in it. But I feel like it just follows like the basic like crypto like guidelines. Like you should just always make sure you have your it like even with me like if I get crypto right, say I buy like I'll take it and I'll put it
Yeah.
right away like in my cold storage wallet and then just keep it there until I want to transact it somewhere or somewhere like that. Like
Yeah. Most definitely, man. I'm I've never used. I don't know. Maybe it was just me and my instincts, but I just never used a centralized exchange as my. Ever since I heard about Mt. Gox, I never.
yeah,
I just only used the exchanges on and off ramp. You know, I just never held my coins there.
yeah, same. I really barely use anything. I barely even use like my MetaMask. Like I use my MetaMask maybe like move a coin or exchange or do something, but besides that, I pretty keep everything on my like treasure, and I'm just like,
Yeah. Did you sack for anything else other than I know you say you missed Pulse Chain, Pulse X, but did you sacrifice for like internet money, f- what was it called, Fat, um, Power City? There's a lot of I in liquid loans.
I was gonna sack for liquid loans, but what I'm just doing right now is I'm just increasing my bag, and then I'm just gonna scoop it all up when it drops.
Yeah, yeah. That's the one I sacrificed for too. Was liquid loans as well. Um, if you go to let's see, Pulse. Let's go to Pulse. Yeah, I always liked the funny thing is if you go to PulseX, the test net, you can like see what the dollar value is, which by no means that's what the price is going to be, but it's kind of cool to like,
Yeah,
you know, hey, this is what the price could be. But yeah, I sacrificed for liquid loans. There was a lot of FUD with liquid loans too because they fork liquidity, liquidity,
yeah,
liquidity, and when they first came out, it kind of started up. It kind of started at let's see, market cap. It kind of started off at a high price, and then it just ended up dumping. But a lot of people don't understand. They kind of like launched at the top of um when when Ethereum was like at at a nice price. So if we go to the see, it was almost at like $48, you know,
yeah,
and now it's like at 50 cents. It's like at 50 cents. So, but it's actually a really good protocol to tell you the truth, man. I've actually tried it out, but I was buying that, and then I was like, man, I just need to like stack up my hex. I need to like focus because sometimes like when you're like, there's like so much stuff. It's like sometimes you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and then you like kind of get derailed. I'm just trying to stack
yeah,
up my hex bag before Pulse Chain, so I can.
yeah. I'm pretty much just focused on like Hex. I'm looking at Zen, and then pretty much just stacking up your coins that I'm looking at. How do you
Or
feel
are you buying
about
Hedron now?
Polygon? Hedron? No, I wasn't buying any
Polygon?
Hedron. I'm pretty much, yeah. How do
Poly?
you feel about it? Like,
Um,
do you like the, yeah.
Poly's the one where the thing is like I got in Maxi, and then when they start coming out
Okay.
with all the other stuff, I kind of got. The thing is with the Pulse X, it kind of like you got sacrifice fatigued. It was like all this stuff's coming out, and they just want more. It's like they just want more tokens and stuff and more money for a sacrifice. And I was just like, I'm done sacrificing. So it's like I didn't even give like Poly a try, or their perpetuals. But the thing is, I might buy once it. The thing is, once it gets closer, like those perpetuals, once it gets closer to those end dates, those perpetuals are gonna go crazy. I think because people are gonna just like in. Did you get in? Did you get into them at all?
Poly?
Poly or the perpetuals, like the Echo, not the Echo.
No, I didn't.
Well, the Decky,
I didn't
Decky,
fully get. No,
Lucky, yeah,
I started
Lucky
like
and Decky.
because it all felt like they pretty much all come out like one after the other. So like I pretty much just focused on like me. I just focused on much as Hex, Hedron, Icosa. I really like Hedron and Icosa. After that, I'm pretty much just focusing on like then Matic, and I actually like Ada. Ada looks pretty good right now, but
Yeah, Ada's still. Man, the thing is, man, I sold all my Ada to sacrifice for Pulse Chain, and I think I'm glad I kind of did it, but man, it's at 25 cents now. Man, I remember I was buying it at like $1, and it was like to the point where it was like getting up to like $3, and now it's at
yep.
25 cents. So it's at like a nice discount right now. Like I remember when I was on that Cardano bandwagon, man, I was like, man, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get 1,000,000 Cardano. It's like I could probably achieve that now, but yeah, man, you can make some good gains from Ada. I still think Ada's early. Ada's gonna be like one of those L1s that's gonna blow up. Um,
I feel like
it's
it's
gonna blow
very
up.
like slept on.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's gonna take some time because it's compared to like Ethereum, it's a different code, you know. So it's just gonna take time for people to figure it out. And once they get smart contracts, which I think they already have, but I don't think they are implementing them like on Ethereum just like yet. But once they figure that out, dude, it's gonna be a beast. So you're in the Matic too? Polygon?
Matic, yeah, I'm looking at Matic too.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into Matic. All those kind of like L2, I have a hard time like moving over to. um, it's just like extra steps. That's just I don't know. It's just a preference, you know. It's just Ethereum's just so easy. You just
Yeah,
download MetaMask and then you got it going on. And then with Polygon, you got to download MetaMask. You got to put the stuff in. It's in it. You got to bridge some stuff over. You know,
Richard, yeah.
you got to do all that stuff.
So you're just focusing
But
on. So what are you focusing on? Like this this bear market? Like,
What I'm focusing on right now is just stacking up my hex. That's what I'm focusing on at first. And if Zen gets to a point where it's ridiculously cheap, I'm probably gonna buy it. But that comes with the risk of knowing that it's gonna keep going down. So, but then
yeah,
again,
and I
I'm
mean,
just curious to see how that I'm just curious to see how the NFTs are gonna do. But yeah, but what's your Zen strategy right now?
my Zen strategy. So when Zen came out, I did a whole wallets. Like I made like on my one MetaMask, I made I think almost like 30, 40 wallets. And then
Yeah,
when I found out about CoinTool, that's when I started the batch mints. So I did about like
yeah,
2 batch mints, and then now I'm just pretty much just waiting on most of my like day one mints. So like after 100 days, I'm waiting on most of those to finish, and then see where the price is pretty much at. Because by that time, the Zen NFT should be out. So I want to see how those do and see
yeah,
how they trade on OpenSea too. That's another thing.
yeah. My Zen strategy. I've been minting pretty much every other day. So I'll mint one for the max every other day. But I'll put the Gwei to like 12.5. So it's like around like $3. So once the Gwei gets down to that price, it'll mint it'll make a mint.
And you're
So
just
that's
doing
what I've been
one.
doing.
You're just doing one wallet.
Yeah, I use the coin tool as well,
Okay.
batch minter. So every other day I'll just mint. Have you been on the crypto sell guru site where you can like put your mints in? You can put your mints in the system and it'll show a nice little monitoring. So if you go to Zen Turbo, have you heard about Zen Turbo?
Yeah, I heard about. I think Trevon was talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, but you can put your mints in by adding your addresses.
Mhm.
You can put your mints in here, and it'll give you like a nice depiction of when your mints are going to end, so you don't miss them. And like where the calendar is, it'll kind of like show like a 1, 2, 3 of how many mints on that day are up, which is nice because you don't want to miss a day. You don't want to miss your mints, man.
Oh yeah. And that's what I also feel like is gonna be like bullish because you got a lot of people who made a lot of ones I know day one, and a lot of them are definitely at to mint. But after 7 days, they can't mint it. They just lost all that Zen. So I feel like
Yeah,
there's not an accurate like true price of how much Zen is like pretty much getting minted.
yeah. And this is what I like. This app is kind of like the same thing I like about the Hex community. It's like they have like apps like this for like all the stakes and stuff, all the stake, what's going on, and you know you have all this data. And like no other cryptos are really doing that type of stuff. You know, like you got this cool dashboard which basically shows the Zen network mining. You know, knowing all this information ahead of time, it just gives you a perspective of like what could happen. You know, so I'm excited. It looks like the Zen NFTs will probably be out maybe after Christmas, according to Jack. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'll, yeah. He,
I normally don't get my hopes hopes up because like I got my hopes up kind of like with the Hedron HSI auctions. It didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to pump it up,
Yeah,
but it's still early.
I think.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of
true.
auctions out there. What were you going to say?
And you could pick up a lot. You could pick up a lot of hacks too, especially even with the auctions, like a steal. Because I was seeing
Yeah.
some of them like it
Oh
was like
yeah.
day 3 or day 4. So there was an auction for like 3 million hacks, and it was only for someone was bidding on it for like not even like 500 million e-drawn.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, man, it's been like almost an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never noticed that, but yeah, we'll have to do this again, man. My
Yeah,
following's
we
not
definitely will.
large. Your following's not large. I mean, we can do this on a weekly basis, man, and talk what's going on in the industry, and you know, get our engagement up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll end up downloading this once it comes available, and I'll shoot you over a link so you can upload it to your channel and do what you want with it.
Okay.
No problem, man. Well, tell everybody what your Twitter name and stuff is and your website.
Okay. You guys can follow me on YouTube at Dripcrypto. And you could also follow my Twitter at Dripcrypto. And
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. Well, this is Lock and Profit, and we will see you later. Thanks, Drip.